Now, the 1916 centenary includes thousands of events all year at home and abroad, but Easter weekend is naturally the heart of it all. And it's going to be exceptionally busy in Dublin City with the ceremonial parade taking place on the Sunday. On Easter Monday, RTE Reflecting the Rising in partnership with Ireland 2016 will see hundreds of events citywide: talks, walking tours, music, dance, street art and theatre. Add into the mix the fact that St. Patrick's Day falls just 10 days earlier, and you're looking at unprecedented numbers of people in Dublin city centre. Pat, the whole thing kicks off this year with the St. Patrick's Festival. We're very familiar with it in Dublin. What might be different?
No major changes to the parade this year, Grant. I think people are very familiar. Anybody who's coming in every year knows where they're going on the parade. It's going again from north to south, 2.7 kilometres, starting in Western Way and finishing on St. Patrick's Street. It'll travel along Parnell Square, O'Connell Street, across O'Connell Bridge, Dame Street, Lord Edward Street, up to Christchurch, and it'll finish on St. Patrick's Street.
What do you expect the main differences to be, though?
There's going to be more people in the city. All of the indicators are at the moment that the city is going to be at capacity, which means it can be anything between 400,000 people and 600,000 people. In 2010, when we had good weather, we had 600,000 people on the street in Dublin. It's a challenge.
It sure is a challenge. And let's look at the next challenge, John. And what a wonderful celebration to look forward to. 2016, it's been a long time in the planning.
Well, 2016 is a big year for Ireland, Grania. We have over 4,000 events for the Ireland 2016 centenary programme, so every county in the country has its own programme, and in fact there's 1,000 events in 100 cities around the world. So it's a very rich, very diverse programme, remembering the past, reflecting on the last 100 years and looking to the future. But really, the real focus for us now is on Easter weekend, where we have Easter Sunday and Easter Monday.
Well, talk to me about Easter Sunday. What is that going to bring us? Well,
Easter Sunday is the formal ceremonial parade where the state pays its respects on behalf of the citizens for the activities and events of 1916. So we're going to have a parade involving all of Óglaigh na hÉireann, our army, our air corps and our navy, 2,500 personnel in full ceremonial dress. We'll also have the mounted officers, and then we'll have our emergency services, like Garda Síochána, the RNLI, the ambulance service and the fire brigade. We'll have the bands and so on, and it's very much a formal event. It's going to be very dignified, and it's a once-off. It's a centenary parade. It'll never be repeated again.
Monday then, and the tone changes, doesn't it, somewhat?
Yes, Monday is really a sense of celebration. It's really building on a very successful event of last year, Road to the Rising. This year it's Reflecting the Rising. And what we're going to see is over 400 events throughout Dublin, mostly, many inside, and those that are inside will be ticketed, but free.
Because you're catering for all ages here, aren't you?
All ages. Yeah. And it's not just for people in Dublin, it's for people around the country. There's buses and trains have been laid on by the National Transport Authority all over the country. So really encouraging people to plan the trip to Dublin that weekend. And Easter Monday will be a very special once-off celebration of our Irishness in the context of the overall centenary programme.
Pat, it sounds fantastic. John wants the whole country to turn up to Dublin, but you've got to make sure that this all passes off really safely. I don't think you've probably seen anything on the scale of this policing-wise before, have you?
Well, we're certainly expecting it to be much bigger. It's very different to St. Patrick's Day, and the actual parade route itself is 4.5 kilometres in length, whereas the St. Patrick's Day parade is almost twice as long. And instead of going from north to south, it actually goes from south to north. So it starts in around St. Stephen's Green, and then it travels up to Christchurch, down Dame Street, across O'Connell Bridge, O'Connell Street, and then it goes up to Dorset Street and turns left down onto Bolton Street. So there are two wraparounds in this parade at Bolton Street and at St. Stephen's Green, which forces the traffic out as far as the North Circular Road and to the Grand Canal. You can see a very different map.
Yes, the first thing I noticed is this big red circle around the city. What does that mean?
They are that's the outer cordon for traffic. It's going to be much tighter in terms of traffic management than St. Patrick's Day parade. Now, it is porous in as much as all of the emergency services will have access, people that are living within the cordon will have access, and all of the hospitals will be accessible. But we do have to put in that cordon because of the extended length of the parade and the actual shape of it. But you can see in yellow, you'll see they are all the public transport routes. And if we take any ordinary Sunday at 1 p.m, Dublin Bus have about 350 buses operating within the city. On this particular Sunday, they'll have over 600 buses operating. So you can get up close and personal to the parade by using public transport.
OK, so you just need to cooperate with the plan that's in force at the time.
Absolutely. Other changes to it are There are screens all the way along the road. You can view it starting at 9:30 a.m. And there are 5 distinct sites where you can also view it. If you don't get up close and personal with the route itself, you can go to 5 other areas where you can view this. You can go to Merrion Square, you can go to St Stephen's Green, Trinity College, you can go to King's Inns or Smithfield, where you can also view it on big screens.
OK, so participation is being encouraged. What about Monday then? Because Monday seems to be a very informal thing. People are being encouraged to move around.
Something in it for everybody on Monday. And Monday is spread across the north and south city. And what we're trying to encourage people to is to move from site to site and enjoy that experience that the city is offering. Traffic restrictions at a minimum on the Monday. O'Connell Street is the only road closure. Everywhere else is acceptable. We are encouraging people to use public transport again. There are a few key messages over the 3 days, Grania.
OK.
First of all, as I've said, watch the weather forecast. They're all outdoor events, OK?
And it is March in Ireland.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we are going to have large numbers of people in the city. So we'll say, look, there are going to be children, there are going to be elderly people, there's going to be people with impaired mobility. Please be cognizant of this. Move in and out slowly from the parade routes and the various different events that you're accessing. Use public transport. And it will be alcohol-free. All events are alcohol-free, so we will be strictly enforcing the liquor licensing laws in terms of underage drinking and on-street drinking. And we have to get that message out loud and clear. These are family events.
Family events, and it should be a fantastic time for people to come out and celebrate their Irishness, John.
Well, this time will never come again, and we're encouraging all citizens to take part. Of course, a lot of the events on the Sunday you can watch on the television and hear on the radio, but those that would like to come, lots of extra public transport options in place. And if you want to find out more about it, ireland.ie will give all the details, and it's also where you can download all the information of what's happening in your county throughout the country this year.
And also Gorda.ie for everything that you've been talking about, Pat. Bainigi Soltas.
Good.